Right now, you think you're living moment by moment, making choices that will determine your future. But Ibn Arabi revealed something shocking. Your entire life story, past, present, and future, already exists in its complete form. Time, destiny aren't creating your story as you go. They're revealing a story that was written before time began. This sounds impossible, even terrifying. If your life is already written, what about free will? What about the choices you make every day? What about the effort you put into changing your circumstances? Ibn Arabi's answer to these questions will not only preserve your sense of agency, but expand it beyond anything you've ever imagined. But first, let me ask you something. When you watch a movie, does the main character have free will? From the character's perspective within the story, they're making genuine choices, facing real dilemmas, experiencing authentic emotions. They don't know what's going to happen next. Their decisions feel completely free and consequential. But from your perspective as the viewer, you know something the character doesn't. The entire movie already exists. Every scene, every choice, every plot twist has already been filmed, edited, and completed. The character's journey unfolds moment by moment from their perspective. But the complete story exists all at once from a higher dimensional viewpoint. Ibn Arabi taught that your relationship to your life is exactly like this. From your perspective, within time, you're making genuine choices, facing real uncertainties, creating your future through your decisions. But from the perspective of what he called divine consciousness, the eternal awareness that exists outside of time, your entire life story already exists as a complete, perfect, finished work of art. This is the secret that time and destiny share. They are not separate forces competing in your life. Time is the mechanism by which you experience a destiny that already exists in its totality. Destiny is not what will happen to you. Destiny is what is happening through you, moment by moment, as consciousness explores a story that was written in eternity. But here's where Ibn Arabi's teaching becomes revolutionary. The story that was written before time began wasn't written by some external author imposing a plot upon you. The story was written by your own essential nature, by what you truly are at the deepest level of your being. Think of it this way. Before you were born into time, your soul, your essential divine nature, contemplated all possible ways it could express itself, learn, grow, love, and awaken. Out of infinite possibilities, your soul chose the particular story that would most perfectly allow it to fulfill its deepest purposes. Then time and destiny became the collaborative mechanism for living that chosen story. This is why Ibn Arabi could say that everything that happens to you is perfect, even when it doesn't feel perfect from within the experience. The difficulties, the losses, the unexpected turns, the moments of joy, the periods of confusion, all of it was chosen by your own soul as the perfect curriculum for its evolution. But this raises a profound question. If everything is already chosen, already written, already destined, then why does it feel like you're making choices? Why does the future feel uncertain? Why do your decisions seem to matter? Ibn Arabi's answer is breathtaking in its elegance. You are not separate from your destiny. You are not a passive victim of predetermined fate. You are the active agent through which your destiny expresses itself. Your choices are not separate from your destiny. Your choices are your destiny expressing itself through the mechanism of your individual will. When you make a decision, you're not overriding your destiny. You're discovering your destiny. When you choose love over fear, generosity over selfishness, truth over deception, you're not changing what was written. You're reading what was written by recognizing it as the expression of your deepest nature. This is the secret collaboration between time and destiny that Ibn Arabi uncovered. Time provides the stage, destiny provides the script, and you provide the performance. But here's the crucial insight. You are simultaneously the actor, the character, and the author who wrote the script before the play began. From within time, you experience uncertainty, make choices, and shape your future. From outside time, your essential nature has already chosen everything that will allow it to most fully express its divine potential. These are not contradictory perspectives. They are complementary dimensions of the same unified reality. This understanding transforms everything about how you relate to your past, present, and future. Your past is not a collection of random events that happened to you. Your past is the first act of a carefully authored story designed to bring you to exactly where you are now, with exactly the wisdom, strength, and capacity you need for what comes next. Your present is not a random moment sandwiched between an unchangeable past and an uncertain future. Your present is the point of power where eternity intersects with time, where your eternal nature expresses itself through your temporal choices, where destiny and free will reveal themselves to be one movement viewed from different angles. Your future is not a blank canvas waiting for you to paint it through effort and determination. Your future is a love letter that your soul wrote to yourself before you were born, waiting to be opened envelope by envelope, moment by precious moment. But Ibn-Arabi was careful to emphasize that understanding this secret doesn't make you passive or fatalistic. If anything, it makes you more active, more engaged, more alive to each moment. Because now you understand that every experience is meaningful, every choice is significant, every moment is a sacred collaboration between your individual will and your eternal nature. When you're aligned with this understanding, you stop fighting your life and start dancing with it. You stop trying to force outcomes and start trusting the intelligence that authored your story. You stop worrying about making the right choices and start making choices from love, knowing that love is the fundamental nature of the author who wrote your script. This doesn't mean you become careless or irresponsible. It means you become careful and responsible in a completely new way. You care for your life as a sacred work of art that you're both creating and discovering. You respond to circumstances not from fear of getting it wrong, but from trust in the deeper intelligence that has already gotten it perfectly right. Ibn-Arabi taught that there are different levels of understanding this secret relationship between time and destiny. At the beginning level, you might experience it as comforting fatalism. Everything happens for a reason, so I don't need to worry. But this is actually missing the deeper point. At the intermediate level, you begin to recognize that you are not separate from the force that's guiding your destiny. Your deepest intuition, your most loving impulses, your wisest insights, these are not separate from destiny. They are destiny speaking through your individual consciousness. At the advanced level, you realize that the consciousness that authored your destiny and the consciousness that's living your destiny are the same consciousness. There is no external force determining your fate. There is only your own deepest nature expressing itself through the apparent duality of choice and destiny, will and fate, time and eternity. This is why Ibn-Arabi called awakened human beings the perfect mirrors of divine consciousness. They have realized that they are simultaneously the reader and the book, the dreamer and the dream, the author and the character, the lover and the beloved. But perhaps the most liberating aspect of understanding this secret is how it transforms your relationship with uncertainty and suffering. When you don't understand the collaboration between time and destiny, uncertainty feels threatening and suffering feels meaningless. You're always trying to control outcomes you can't control and understand, experiences that seem random. But when you understand that time and destiny are revealing a story that was authored by love for the purpose of awakening, uncertainty becomes adventure and suffering becomes curriculum. You don't need to control outcomes because you trust the author. You don't need to understand every experience because you trust the overall purpose. This doesn't make you passive in the face of injustice or complacent about unnecessary suffering. If anything, it makes you more passionate about alleviating suffering and creating beauty, because you understand that these impulses are also part of the story, also expressions of the love that authored everything, the secret that time and destiny share is ultimately a love secret. Time exists so that love can experience the joy of unfolding. Destiny exists so that love can experience the satisfaction of completion. Your individual life exists so that love can experience itself from your unique perspective, with your particular gifts, through your specific story. Every moment you've lived, every choice you've made, every joy you've experienced, every pain you've endured, all of it has been love exploring itself through the magnificent vehicle of your individual existence. And every moment yet to come will continue this same exploration, this same self-discovery, this same cosmic love affair between the eternal and the temporal. When you truly understand this secret, you realize that you have never been separate from the divine intelligence that moves the stars and grows the flowers. You have never been abandoned to random fate or left to figure everything out on your own. You have always been held, guided, and cherished by the very consciousness that you are. Time and destiny don't have a secret from you. They have a secret for you. The secret is that you are more loved, more supported, more perfectly guided than your mind could ever comprehend. The secret is that your story is not just meaningful, it's sacred. The secret is that you are not just living a life, you are being lived by love itself. This is why Ibn-Arabi's teaching changes everything. Not because it gives you new information about time and destiny, but because it reveals what has always been true. You are not a separate being struggling in a chaotic universe. You are divine consciousness exploring its own infinite creativity through the beautiful, unique, irreplaceable story that is your life. The secret that time and destiny share is the secret of who you really are. And once you know this secret, everything becomes prayer. Everything becomes worship. Everything becomes a celebration of the love that authored you into existence and continues to author you moment by sacred moment. Time keeps perfect time. Destiny unfolds in perfect order. And you, exactly as you are, with all your apparent imperfections and struggles, you are the perfect protagonist in the perfect story. That love is telling through your life. This is the secret. This is the teaching. That changes everything. This is why your life has always been, and will always be, exactly as it should be.